I said, I don't feel good, I'm sick, and I'm not coming down to the police station. He said, I'll be right over. So the next thing, TV came in, press came in, newspapers, radio stations, and telephone calls started coming in. 2 days later, the ridicule started coming in, believe me. And I had a man run 3 blocks, huffing and puffing. He owned the Goodyear tire shop there in Ashland, Nebraska, and he wrote me, Herb, if you ever see another flying saucer and it lands, you tell him I want to sell him a set of tires. The phone rang, this is the planet Mars, I mean, really ridiculous stuff. I think, though, being here in Florida, one of the neatest welcomes I got was right out here in the lobby. The gentleman out there selling books. And I walked up, and he says, Herb Shirmer? I said, yes. My name is so-and-so, and I was taken aboard a police cruiser. I thought that was neat. The United States Air Force Condon Committee, Blue Book Project, or however you want to say it, investigating team came down to Ashland, Nebraska to investigate me. A gentleman by the name of John Ahrens, who is a friend of mine, and a gentleman by the name of Roy Craig, who was a physicist. John Ahrens, he'd probably hit me, but he was a shrink. Psychiatrist. Him and I had long discussions, and he told me to tell my story over and over and over and over, and I told it over and over and over and over. And then they found a 25-minute time lapse in my log. And John says, Herb, what happened to you between 2:30 a.m., December 3rd, 1967, and 3 a.m., or a little before 3 a.m.? And I looked at him, and I couldn't say anything because I didn't remember. So he says, you got to come to Boulder. I said, okay. So they took me up to Boulder, and I met a UFO team there of a lot of people who run a lot of tests on me, and a hypnotist by the name of Dr. Leo Sprinkler administered time regression hypnosis on me, which found out a small detail that I had been aboard the spacecraft and that I had actually communicated with them. They played the tape back to me, and it shocked me. I didn't know what to think. I said, is that really my voice on that tape? You bet it is, boy. I says, my God, what do I do now? So while I was up in Boulder, the city got real cute, the city fathers and the people in the city. The day I left, matter of fact, the night I left, they went down to our beautiful cemetery there in Ashland, Nebraska, and took this dummy and hung it by the neck in a tree, and put a big star on it, shot a hose through it and painted the hose with red like blood, and put Herb across the star with a cowboy head on it. And they really made it look big because they went down to the mortuary and they got the ambulance out, a code 3 run, sirens, red lights, the whole works. Went over there and they very carefully took it down and put it on a stretcher and covered it up and took it back to the morgue. They thought they scared me, but they didn't, you see. That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to scare me, but they didn't scare me because I thought it was kind of funny, and I laughed about it when I read it in the paper and seen all the pictures and everything. But while I was in Boulder, they blew my car up with dynamite. And that really made me mad. I just got through paying for it. And I was furious. I could have done like George C. Scott did in that movie Rage. You know? That's how mad I was.
Herb Shirmer's encounter with the flying saucer and its crew disturbed many people, including his wife, who said he was crazy and left.
But through the whole crisis, I had one very good friend in Ashland, Nebraska. His name is Leroy Dimmitt. Very close friend. And he helped me a lot in Ashland. He was one of our relief officers in the police department. And I was really proud to have him as a friend, his way he stuck by. My family, I really can't say. I went to my father and I said, Dad, I said, I know you have 20-something years in the Air Force, but I asked my father point blank, I said, Dad, what do you think of UFOs? My father never said no, and he never said yes. He just said, son, if you're telling the truth, stick with it. And so I stuck with it. I thank you very much.
Hypnotic test.
Shirmer, in the hypnosis, was pulled up onto this field, and the hypnotist was asking him, said, describe this, what are you seeing? Shirmer goes, radio ain't working. What happened to the engine? Where are my lights? What is that thing? Describe it to me, the hypnotist. It's made of metal and shaped like a football, silverish glow around it, flashing light underneath. It came in over a field and hung there for a moment, and it's flickering on and off and making a whooshing sound, and the lights are flickering very rapidly. How fast are they flickering? Jiminy Christmas, they must be going around twice a second, at least 120 times a minute. It can't be. What's happening? Legs shooting out underneath it. It's hard to see. It's very bright. There are legs coming out. It's settling on the ground. Are you afraid? You're damn right. My hand is shaking. Why don't you start your cruiser and leave? I am being prevented. What do you mean being prevented? Something in my mind. I want to go home. Oh, no, Lord, no. What? What's wrong now? They're getting out. They're coming toward the car. It can't be. Trying to draw my revolver. I'm being prevented. Something in my mind. The one in front of the car is holding up an object. Stuff shoots out of it and goes all over the car. What is the stuff? What color is it? It's funny stuff, like greenish gas. My God, it can't be. Stuff all around the cruiser. What's he doing? What do you mean? Who? The one in front of the car. He's pulling something out of a holster. My God, he's pointing it at me. It's bright. Very bright. How bright? Bright flash, like a camera bulb, only brighter. Now what's happening? Paralyzed, passing out, can't remember anything. It's all black. And when Shirmer comes around again, he's looking into the eyes of a man who's standing right by the door of the car, a man from the spaceship. And the first question the man asks him is, are you the watchman over this place? Are you the watchman over this place? Now, this is a simple kid who didn't finish high school till he had been a policeman for several years. No education, army brat, moved around 10 countries. Kids like that, even if they watch television, don't invent sentences that say, are you the watchman over this place?